Welcome back to the Nightly Sports Call. The number is 412-575-2600. Get on the phone now. We have one or two lines open, so give me a call. Max Kronberg just tweeted me. He said, do you think the Le'Veon Bell can play like this consistently? And if so, do they have a good Super Bowl chance? Thanks. Well, they're
absolutely
yeah.
They have a Super Bowl chance. But you know what, Rich? I don't want to give it to him 39 touches a game. That's just too many. I thought 30 might be good. I'm all in favor of giving James Conner a few more touches. I think he showed something when he had a chance to run the ball on Sunday. It was one of those games they were going to lean on Le'Veon, but he can't touch it 39 times a game. That's just too many. We saw it last year. They ran the wheels off of him, and it hurt him in the New England playoff game. You drafted James Conner high to give him some snaps. I have no problem playing him once in a while to give Le'Veon a little bit of a break. And
speaking of Super Bowl chances, I think Vegas has them the odds-on favorite now after this weekend.
You know, Kansas City's hard to overlook at this point. They're 4-0. I picked the Steelers to win it all beforehand. I haven't seen anything to make me change my mind. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to. There's all kind of good teams out there. But Oakland's been disappointing. Now Derek Carr is hurt. New England's defense looks so bad that maybe not even Brady and Belichick can overcome it, but I'm not writing them off yet. Kansas City's 4-0. They look pretty real.
Yeah, they're close to being, what, 1-3 too, you know. But, hey, they're 4-0. You could make the argument that the Steelers have been disappointing at times too right now, but their record is 3-1. Yes.
Bad.
All right, let's go out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to Derek in Pittsburgh. How you doing, Derek?
Hi, Ricky. Question about the incident on the sidelines on the Steelers. That was wrong to do. They used to be suspended for that game.
I don't think he's going to get suspended, Ron. There's no chance of that.
He's not going to do that. You hope he keeps maturing. You hope he grows up, but we keep saying that. You know, if this was a one-time thing, you'd say, man, he just lost his cool, no big deal. But it just continues to happen time after time. And I thought maybe you hear he's changed a little bit. He's got his big money now. He's got his contract. No. Doesn't look like that way to me, and I don't think it's good for the team. I really don't. That's what Roethlisberger said, and that's what Tomlin said today.
You know, I mean, I want to believe him when he says it's about the team and winning, but sometimes I think it's more about him, though.
Right.
I mean, but
he gives you that impression.
Yeah. But I want to believe when he says I'm about the team and winning, because he is, but I think he wants to be about the team and winning as long as he gets 10, 11, 12 targets a game. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to Lou in Fox Chapel. How you doing, Lou?
Hi, guys. Comment and a question. Seems to me they've greatly improved the short pass across the middle. Have the receivers now and Juju and Brian and tight ends. But the question I have is, how often do you think Ben changes his signals come from the bench?
I think he changes a lot. He talked about that today on our show, that a lot of the plays that come in are run-pass options, and he sees what the defense is given, and he'll change it to a run. He's not afraid to give up his own personal stats if he sees a play work. So I think he has a lot of freedom in that offense, and as he said, many of those plays are run-pass options. He gets to the line, sees what he sees, he can make the call.
And, you know, who better to do it than someone like Ben Roethlisberger, who's been around, who's a Hall of Fame quarterback, has some great weapons. So I would definitely trust, considering what they have done in the past. Let's go back out to phone lines, and we got David out on the south side. How you doing, David? David, you there?
Hello?
Yeah, you're up. Okay, David.
David's asleep on the switch there.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I think Antonio Brown, I have never...
I don't know what he was trying to say, but let's go out to another David out in Uniontown. How you doing, David?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the home opener tomorrow. I think how unique and special it's going to be since they won it back-to-back.
It sure is, man. Raising the banner again tomorrow night. We're so lucky in this town to have them do it twice in a row, and I think they have a real chance to do it 3 times in a row.
I don't see anyone in the East beating them. It's the teams out West that kind of scare me with the Penguins.
You'll take your chances if you get to June. You have to play a team in the West.
And I'm not too concerned about the third-line center right now. I think that's an issue that they can address when they see these first 2 months maybe play out.
Well, I mean, Rutherford said he's not going to panic and not going to he's comfortable with what they have, and Sullivan has said the same thing. Hey, I've learned to trust in those guys. They've won me over until they show me otherwise. I'm believing, I'm buying the Kool-Aid, drinking the Kool-Aid, if you will.
So they'll raise the banner. The Stanley Cup will be in the house, and also Doc Emmerich's calling the game, and you have Doc on tomorrow morning.
Doc's going to be on our show tomorrow at 10:25. He's a great personal friend of mine. He's a great friend of our show, and anytime you can start the season with Doc Emmerich, you're doing pretty well.
And he's probably going to start the conversation with the Pirates. Maybe ask you some questions
He's a disgusted fan, I can tell you that. We text back and forth all summer, and he's a big Pirates fan.
Yeah. All right, let's get back out to the phone lines, and we're going to go out to John out in Banksville. How you doing, John?
Gentlemen, how you doing today?
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, to continue on the Penguins getting away from the Steelers and Antonio Brown's petulant behavior, I was wondering, the Penguins made a trade today, and I was wondering, were you guys a little surprised? I was, that he traded Pouliot, who didn't pan out as of now, but he traded him for another two-way young defenseman with not a lot of experience. And it surprised me that he didn't trade him trying to get that center. And I was wondering what you guys thought about that.
Well, you know what? I don't think Pouliot was going to get much in return. I mean, this is one of those deals. They traded for a guy who was on waivers as well. This looks to me like a trade, hoping a change of scenery helps both of these guys. I remember a couple years ago Rutherford saying, we get calls on Pouliot every day, and I basically say I'm not interested. He was untouchable, basically, but he's never developed, whether it was conditioning, skating, whatever it was. He just never developed, and they finally moved him for something. I don't know what they got back for him. We'll see, but it might be one of those deals where getting to a new team will help both of these guys.
Yeah, Pouliot had a one-way contract, and he wasn't fitting in. He wasn't in their top six. He fit in under Johnston's style because Johnston used to coach him. I guess he might have felt more comfortable with him. But when Sullivan came in here, he never even
the speed game, you know. And again, was it conditioning? He doesn't look like a Chris Letang out there. He doesn't have that conditioning, you know.
And the defenseman that they got back is totally different. He's a one-way stay-at-home, big
right?
physical,
like 6'5".
6'5". He's 24. So he's going to start the season. He's under a two-way deal. He's going to start the season in Wilkes-Barre. But they also get a fourth-rounder back, too. So I think it was a good deal for the Penguins because Pouliot would have never seen the ice up here, even with an injury. Right. I'd imagine that they...
You know, Rueda went ahead of them last year in the playoffs. You're right. It just was a bad fit, and they finally ran out of patience and time with them.
All right, we're going to take a break. Back with more phone calls and some tweets. 412-575-2600 is the number.